If I only had 24 hours to live, what would I tell my family? What would I tell the people that I love or that love me or have loved me? That is a very good question. It's a tough question, really. You know, I've tried to mentally prepare myself for this question, for this conversation. But when you sit down and really start to have the conversation, it hits different because the reality of it is it could be you at any time. Maybe not necessarily 24 hours, but some people, they get grim diagnosis, they've only got weeks to live, days to live, months to live. So I guess the first thing I would tell them is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for any time that I've let them down. Any failures on my part as a man have been no reflection on them. Lived most of my life recklessly, and you don't think about the long term effects on other people. So the first thing I would tell them is, I'm sorry. It's real, That's real. There's so much. How can you convey a lifetime of experience and knowledge into a compressed packet of information to be able to benefit, your kids, if you have young kids, if you have grown kids? I don't know how you could really package that in a clip, in a short video, in a short conversation. So much to say. The first thing you want to tell them is you're sorry. Do you start off with the life wisdom that you wouldn't be around to give them if you were given such a time frame? The small things. If you have small sons, you won't be around to teach them how to shave, or to let them know that it's okay, you'll grow your beard when you get older. It's a genetic thing, and give it time. Things like that. If you have young daughters, do you tell them that, wait for the right one? Use parts of me as an example of what to look for, and use parts of me as an example of what not to look for, because if you've been around, you've experienced both. I've been good and I've been bad. I've been present and I've been absent. I will tell them that the world is a big, scary, and confusing place sometimes. Sometimes you think you have life completely figured out and you really don't know shit. Sometimes you think you have no idea what to do and the answers are right in front of you. And there's so much uncertainty. I guess I would tell them, try to be good to people. Try to be respectful and show concern, show compassion. Take advantage of every moment that they have because time is the one thing that you won't you won't ever get back. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot. What do you tell them? Tell them how to drive. You know, they're 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old. You're not going to be around for that. Tell your sons how to shake a man's hand firm. Look him in the eyes. Show respect. Also demand respect in a respectful way. How do you do that? How do you convey that? You don't convey that. That's something that they have to see you do. You let them know that sometimes your heart was so full of love that it terrified you. Because love is a scary thing. It's a beautiful and scary thing. Because no matter how much you love something, you have to let it go. It's not really yours, it's temporary. Even in ideal circumstances and ideal relationships, death will eventually separate you. So nothing is permanent. And I guess that's part of the beauty of love. When you love somebody or something, you love them because you realize that they're temporary, and that's where their beauty is at. I would want them to know to try to limit their limit their disappointment in themselves. That it's okay to make mistakes, contrary to how hard I've pushed them to perfect the areas of their life. It's okay to make mistakes. A dad a dad pushes you because a dad wants you to be the best version of yourself because he realizes that life is incredibly hard. It's incredibly difficult. And a parent, a dad, I can only speak for dads because I'm a dad, wants to give you the best chances of success and measure your success by the people who are around you that you love and who love you. And the world's so messed up. Be forgiving to people because they're messed up too. Other people are messed up too. They don't know how to love. And they're trying to figure out life too. They're going to let you down. Inevitably, you're going to let them down, but you can't. You can't please everybody all the time. You have to balance it, but you can't be so selfish that you focus on only pleasing yourself, because that leads to a life of misery and loneliness. And speaking on loneliness, don't be afraid to be by yourself. There's a difference in being alone and being lonely. The uncertainty of the world will, a lot of times, push you to seek out the company of other people, and they may not be the best people. Just because you're afraid to be alone. And their loneliness and desperation will make them seek you out, even if you're not a great person. And the cycle will continue to repeat itself. So be wise about your love and be wise about how you treat other people. Because you don't get do-overs. You're not in a dress rehearsal. You're not in a... This is not a play where you get to, refilm a scene. You get one shot and everything matters. I'm sorry, it's just hard, When you really let that question hit you, and when you really process it and internalize it, it's really difficult. I would tell them to look around at their surroundings. Look around at nature. Enjoy it. Realize the beauty of it. Realize the temporary nature of everything. The way the seasons change. The way death comes. So that life can continue to happen. Nature recycles itself season after season. You look around at buildings that are old. And they start to fall apart. Maybe 100 years, 200 years. Some buildings last 200 years, But even then they decay and they waste away. Everything is temporary. take notice of that. I would tell them, take notice of that temporary nature of everything. Realize your own mortality. You know, I wouldn't tell them to love with reckless abandon. But when they do love, love completely. Give people the freedom to be who they want. Don't try to control the people. Let them be who they want. How they move is where you place them in your life, based on your values and based on what is beneficial to your belief systems. But don't ever try to control them. Just watch how they move. Watch their mannerisms, the things they believe in. Listen to them talk. Be a good listener. I've done a whole lot of talking over the years, not much listening. It's really hard. Accept your failures. Accept your failures and try to learn how to grow from them. Don't give up. Don't give up. If it's something you really want, if it's something that you really want, don't give up, okay? Give all the effort that you can to things that you really want.